All statements in this video are alleged. Do not send hate to anyone shown or mentioned in this video. When you think about your goals in life, what do they include? Do you want to be pretty enough, successful enough, or famous enough? If so, you aren't alone. I think that to some extent, everyone wants one of those things at some point. But do you notice how all of those goals include the word enough? Hello, my name is Pseudonymity, and today I want to talk about how being or having enough doesn't exist in the way we think it does. If you enjoy this video or have any topics you'd like to hear me talk about in the future, comment down below. Thanks for watching, let's get started. In a time when influence stems from all places, it's no shock that there is so much pressure to be enough. People long to fit beauty standards to be considered beautiful enough. They want to be rich enough so they can afford random items and participate in viral trends. And being famous enough is a common goal for many people today. This is harmful because enough doesn't exist in the first place. Well, it does exist, but not how you might think. To start, beauty standards are constantly changing. I think that this video demonstrates my point. As the trend cycle moves faster than ever before, there is nothing stopping beauty standards from changing drastically every 5 or so years compared to the 10 or 15 years it used to be. I think that we constantly forget the beauty and uniqueness as well. For example, people will take beautiful celebrities and fit them into an outline considered the ideal face. Every video like this has demonstrated that the ideal face really isn't as ideal as it claims to be. It takes away the individuality of a person and puts them into a soulless mold, making these celebrities nearly unrecognizable. This proves that even if you do fit into these circumstantial standards, you still won't be seen as enough by brainless haters. This isn't to say that the creators producing these videos are bad. Actually, most videos that I see like this are doing it to prove the fact that beauty isn't a point system or about meeting a standard. Beauty is not a sport. You don't need to have the most points to win, because beauty is found in uniqueness. If every celebrity looked the exact same, would they be considered pretty anymore? No, because they wouldn't be themselves. So why should these standards apply to you? Now, I want to talk about the second goal, being rich or successful enough. I think this desire stems from worrying about our financial futures, wanting to be happy, or longing to be seen as smarter or more than the average person. I want to go through each of these reasons individually. Firstly, people worry about their future financially. This is a very valid concern that everyone has dealt with at some point, and generally, people who are solely concerned about being financially stable now or in the future don't fall into the category of people I'll be talking about today. This is because, most times, these people use the term enough to describe being able to afford rent and food comfortably, which is obviously not wrong. Today, I'm talking about what enough means through a societal lens, not an individual lens. Secondly, people want money to be joyful or happy. Have you ever heard the saying, money can't make you happy? Well, it's true. Despite the fact that new purchases often create a short-lived dopamine boost, they don't make you truly happy in the long run. You can have all the things in the world, but you won't know true joy because you will only know circumstantial happiness. In fact, it's become a clear pattern in society that the more money a person has, the more they want. It's never sufficient, and frankly, it's addicting. You rarely see a millionaire CEO use their large income to give their employees raises instead of keeping it to themselves. Why is that? Third, people long to be seen as above average by using their success as proof to why that is true. It's not abnormal to desire praise from others or desire success. We've all wanted to be seen and celebrated for our wins, and that isn't inherently wrong. What is wrong is belittling others to boost your ego. I mean, belittling others is one of the most obvious ways for a person to show their insecurities. I believe that choosing to put down others for their achievements that, quote, don't live up to yours, makes it clear that their own success isn't even enough for themselves. And this isn't a new idea. Have you ever noticed that celebrities often create their own companies even when they aren't interested in them in the first place? Maybe you've seen the influencers that wrote books talking about how they needed to fill space and meet their deadline. They already have enough money to create generational wealth, so why do they produce these unnecessary cash grabs? Because success will never be enough. I want to clarify that some celebrities and influencers genuinely followed these business ventures because they enjoyed them and it was their passion. I hope it's very clear that I'm not talking about them right now, and I applaud them for following their dreams. Lastly, being famous enough is a goal that many people, specifically influencers or content creators, work relentlessly to gain. But what does it mean to be famous enough? It depends on who you ask. Plenty of people have made the deliberate choice to avoid the spotlight after poor experiences with management or fans. But what happens when the famous person is the oppressive management? You get rage bait content designed to upset viewers. This rage bait leads to constant controversies, and even when a creator avoids creating rage bait content altogether, they still get tied up in controversies, whether they deserve to be part of them or not. In addition, people who long for spotlight constantly beg for followers. Take Mr. Beast, for example. On his road to 100 million subscribers, he was persistent in asking people to subscribe. But why did he need 100 million subscribers so desperately? It's not like he couldn't afford his videos. Mr. Beast is a clear demonstration of the longing for fame that many people have. It's extremely rare for someone in the spotlight to say they have a large enough following. They're always looking for a new opportunity, even if it's immoral. This brings me to reality TV, the result of desperation for fame and popularity. Reality TV relies on artificial drama, often feeding lines to participants in the show. With manipulative editing, these shows produce narratives that emphasize drama and attention over honesty and realism, which is weird seeing as it's called reality TV. Quite a few of these productions include children, and directors are willing to do whatever it takes to have a notable episode, even at the expense of these children's health, mentally or physically. When you look at the kids in Dance Moms now, most of them make it clear that they wish they never were on the show. At what cost will parents go to make their children famous? Just look at JoJo Siwa. Her parents used her popularity on Dance Moms to create a YouTube empire. And when JoJo Siwa inevitably grew up, she was still pushed into the spotlight with elaborate popularity stunts and constant controversies. A few years ago, you could walk into a Claire's and see her face everywhere. JoJo bows were flying off the shelves, but that still wasn't enough. As time goes on, I fear that follower counts will continue to grow, but never fill the void creators long to hide from the world. Time and time again, we have seen that money, followers, fame, and beauty will only get you so far, but people often realize it too late. When someone is on their deathbed, they don't think about the things they wish they bought or the followers they wish they had, because it's all pointless at the end of the day. In 20 years, saying that you had 1 million followers on TikTok will be determined cringe by the newest generation, and you still won't be considered rich, famous, or pretty enough, because none of us will be. No one has ever reached the societal expectation that comes with the word enough. So why do we expect to be the one that can reach this impossible goal? To an extent, we aren't that different from one another. We all worry about fitting in. We all want to know more. We all want to be better. But there's no room for agreement in the reality we've created. At some point, we've all wanted similar things, and when we can't reach those things, we don't want anyone else to. Our fear of failure has formed us into selfish people who celebrate the misfortune of others. It's really no surprise you set such unrealistic and unattainable goals. You shouldn't have to achieve surface-level things to be seen as an equal by others. Don't underestimate the impact you have on people. You aren't just a statistic. We can all change the world, even if it's one person at a time. Don't let jealousy get a hold of you. Let others succeed in what you failed at. Teach people what your mistakes taught you first. Because even with failures and mistakes, you are and always will be enough. And for the sake of society as a whole, let others know that they are enough without these stupid made-up standards that were created to make us fail too.